Season 2 begins in Hong Kong, where a group is having a discussion. One of them says, Neon Man's channel is growing very fast. He now has 12 million subscribers. We can't lose to him, so we need to train harder. This group is called Continental Night, and they produce content similar to Neon Mask. Suddenly, someone wearing a hoodie enters the room. He is holding a photograph of one of the members of the group. Upon seeing it, he smiles menacingly and prepares his weapon. The scene shifts to Seoul, South Korea, where Katrina Sharma arrives. She asks someone to send her luggage to the hotel. Accompanying her is her brother, Amir Sharma. Katrina's full name reveals her Indian origins. As Katrina meets Joy, she becomes excited and exclaims, "Hello, Korean nerd. It's been a long time since we met." Joy responds with a smile, "Hello, American nerd. I heard you're taking Korean lessons. Looks like you're learning something." Katrina then asks the detectives, "How are you all? And are you managing to save some money?" One of them replies, "Yes, thanks to you, everything is going well." Neon Mask joins the conversation and refers to Katrina as his boss. They all sit for a meeting. Neon Mask asks, "By the way, what brings you here?" Katrina says, "Last year, your channel had 2 million subscribers, and your videos were getting 3 million views each. This year, you've reached 12 million subscribers, yet your videos are still stuck at 3 million views. Why is that?" Joy snaps back, "Are you here just to give us a lecture? If that's the case, I'll pay for your return trip. Maybe $4 will be enough for you." Angry, Katrina retorts, "Only $4? Do you even realize I'm Neon Mask's boss and 10 years older than you?" Joy smirks and replies, "I'm just talking the way American nerds do." At this moment, Amir interrupts and says, "Can you two get to the point, or should I delete Neon Mask's channel myself?" Neon Mask responds sternly, "Amir, stop threatening me using my own channel." Amir then shows him a suitcase and says, "Here's Neon Mask's new suit. It's completely bulletproof." Katrina adds, "How do you like it? Although a 9mm bullet might still hurt, at least you won't die." Neon Mask asks, "All right, but did you really come all this way just to give me this? Or is it because of the invitation?" Katrina replies, "Recently, someone wiped out Continental Night." Hearing this, everyone is shocked. Joy asks, "Is that true?" But they were all martial artists. Neon Mask motions for Joy to leave so he can have a private conversation. Once Joy leaves, Katrina explains, "Their condition was terrible. If the police hadn't arrived on time, they would have been dead. Whoever did this wanted to make them suffer." Neon Mask asks, "Do you think the MMM group is behind this?" Katrina replies, "I'm not sure, but whoever did this was a professional." MMM is revealed to be an international criminal organization that uses teenagers for their operations. They're also known as the role models for TrollFam. This organization was the first to plan a street assault on Neon Mask's channel. Katrina explains further, "They tried to recruit Continental Night into their group through me, but both I and Continental Night refused. So, they attacked them to set an example. They're trying to show that anyone who stands in their way will be destroyed." It also seems like they've contacted TrollFam. This is how they operate. Amir adds, "They either recruit a group into their fold or destroy them if they refuse to cooperate. Don't you think your group and TrollFam would be the most effective targets for MMM? It's likely they'll try to recruit you into their group as well." Neon Mask says, "Right now, I just want to focus on TrollFam. If possible, keep an eye on them." Hearing this, Amir responds, "Even if we manage to keep MMM from reaching you, they have plenty of ways to track your channel. My sister has already learned her lesson. She knows how they tracked down and attacked Continental Night. That's why she came here as soon as possible to warn you." Katrina adds, "Maybe I've told you this before, they are the ones responsible for Amir losing his leg. Do you really think I'm supporting you without any cost? From now on, you won't just be fighting a few thugs. You'll be risking your life. If you don't want anyone in your group to be a part of this blood-soaked battle, remove them now. The time has come, Neon Mask, for you to repay your debt." Hearing her words, Neon Mask becomes serious. The scene shifts to Daman, who is enraged as he recalls Neon Mask's words. He growls, "Do you all think Napagu is finished? No, Napagu will return and take revenge on every one of you." Daman's friend approaches him, frustrated. "In this state, I can't even go outside. We're sitting in a park like losers, and it's all because of Neon Mask. I have nothing left to do, so I've started going back to school, and I'm tired of telling everyone about you." Daman smirks and replies, "Don't worry, Seonjil, I'll rebuild Napagu." Seonjil asks skeptically. How will you do that? We'll need bikes to gather the gang. But that neon mask loaded all our bikes onto his truck and took them away. Daman gives an evil grin and says, we'll buy new ones. Seonjil laughs sarcastically. And where will you get the money for that? Daman smirks confidently. We have a secret weapon. Something Neon Mask doesn't know about. Hearing this, Seonjil chuckles. Oh, so that's what you're talking about. The scene shifts back to Neon Mask, who is at the doctor's clinic. The doctor says, there's no infection. You'll heal soon, but don't lift anything heavy. It's revealed that this doctor is the wife of the detective. She calls her husband inside angrily and asks, what were you doing when he got injured so badly? Their argument grows heated, and Neon Mask quietly steps outside. Outside, Joy approaches him, and he asks, can we leave now? Joy replies, are you planning to go after MMM now? Amir told me everything, and you're not ready for this. You know that too. Neon Mask sighs and admits, yes, I know. That's why I'm not going to underestimate them. Joy responds, not like you ever listened to me anyway. At that moment, Neon Mask remembers a promise he made to fight someone. The scene shifts to Sejin, who is practicing. He keeps having visions of Hyuk and tries to fight him mentally but loses every time. Frustrated, he thinks to himself, Hyuk is the strongest miner. No matter what I do, I can't defeat him. The gap between us is too big. Can Neon Mask defeat him? I doubt it. It all depends on how he fights. Just then, Sorrow arrives and asks, what are you mumbling to yourself about? Sejin looks embarrassed. Did I say that out loud? Sorrow shrugs. What's there to think about? We're about to fight a professional fighter, a 6-foot-tall man who has spent his entire life training in martial arts. If Neon Mask doesn't figure out a way to fight him soon, he's definitely going to lose. Sejin says, I've imagined every type of martial arts scenario, but each time, I lose. Whenever I try to pick him up and slam him, I realize just how strong he is. His basic skills are on another level. That's why I'm not sure if Neon Mask should even fight him. Sorrow replies, we have someone who can match his strength, and Neon Mask has his street fighting techniques too. Sejin adds, when we fought Imul High, they had large numbers, but it didn't matter because they lacked strength. But this is different. Sorrow asks, tell me honestly, Sejin, do you think Songbin is the strongest person on Neon Mask's channel? And after him, do you consider yourself the second strongest? Sejin confidently replies, yes, after Neon Mask, I'm the strongest. Hearing this, Sorrow chuckles and says, well, let me tell you something, you're the weakest in this team. The scene shifts to a place Neon Mask has rented to shoot live streams. Sorrow explains, the gym trainer forbade me from making a mess in the gym, so I brought you here. Now, I'll show you why you're the weakest in this team. Sejin replies, fine, it doesn't bother me that you think I'm the weakest, but I'd really like to know why you think so. The two begin to spar. After a few moments, Sorrow uses a sudden move, and Sejin falls to the ground, screaming in pain. Shocked, Sejin asks, what was that? Sorrow smirks and says, that was just my basic bullet technique, and this one was just for you. He then starts firing a barrage of shots, forcing Sejin to dodge and hide. Frustrated, Sejin shouts, isn't this too much? Sorrow replies, don't you get it? Our style is simple, win by any means necessary. He fires again, narrowly missing Sejin. Sorrow continues, what would you do if your opponent had a weapon? What if they were stronger than you? Do you think a one-on-one fight with Hyuk is fair? He's spent his entire life training with the best instructors. You need to understand our street style and surprise attacks are limited. They're not enough to guarantee a win. Sorrow then pulls out a drone and activates it. Have you ever fought anyone who only uses a single predictable style? Joy told me you want to stop Neon Mask. Is this how you're planning to do it? Do you really think you can? Right now, in your current state, you can't even touch him. Frustrated, Sejin grabs a rod and says, enough, I'm going to destroy this drone. Forgive me in advance. He charges toward the drone and manages to destroy it. Seeing this, Sorrow hides his weapon bag before Sejin can notice. Suddenly, an attack comes from behind, but it's aimed at the bag. Sorrow smirks and says, nice try, Sejin, but you missed. However, Sejin appears behind him and lands a kick. Using Sorrow's bullet technique, Sejin strikes, knocking Sorrow to the ground. In retaliation, Sorrow activates a small bomb. Moments later, both are lying on the ground, exhausted. Sejin, catching his breath, says, Sorrow, how about we grab something to eat? Later, While eating, Sejin remarks, I never imagined you'd use a drone to fire bullets. If I keep training like this, I'll become as powerful as Neon Mask one day. Hearing his naive comment, Saro retorts, not even close, but at least now you know why you lost. Sejin then asks, how did you meet Neon Mask? Saro replies, I met him 2 months after he started his channel. He came looking for me. Back then, I was doing some pretty dangerous stuff. He's the one who stopped me from continuing down that path. The scene shifts to Seokyun, who is dismantling parts from a bike to steal them. Neon Mask arrives and says, you know this is illegal, right? Seokyun replies, yeah, but it'll earn me $8. Neon Mask asks, and what will you do with the money? Seokyun answers honestly, I'll buy instant noodles and share them with my mom. Neon Mask says, what if I give you the money? Will you leave this bike alone? Seokyun responds, if I don't work on this bike, Daman won't play with me anymore. Daman buys me pork, rice, and sweets, but I need money to buy medicine and a wheelchair for my mom. If I don't give her the medicine, she'll suffer. The scene cuts to Seokyun's mom, who is waiting for him at home. She reassures him, don't worry about not having a father. You'll be fine. Seokyun hands her some groceries and says, my friend bought this for me. Seokyun's mom asks, did Daman buy this for you? Seokyun replies, no, my other friend gave it to me. Hearing this, his mom says, that's good. So, does that mean you're not hanging out with Daman anymore? Their conversation is overheard by Neon Mask, who listens quietly. The scene shifts to Daman, who stops Seokyun and asks, are you going to school? Seokyun answers, yes, my mom told me not to skip school, so I'm going. Daman then asks about the bikes, to which Seokyun replies, a friend told me it's against the rules, so I didn't change their parts. Curious, Daman asks, which friend? Seokyun explains, he wears glasses and even bought me fried chicken. Mocking him, Daman pretends to act upset, saying, if it were me, I'd have sold those bikes and bought medicine for your mom, but I guess now your mom will die soon all because of you. These words deeply hurt Seokyun, and he responds, I'll bring you some bikes today. After Seokyun leaves, Daman's friend remarks, does that loser even have friends? He probably made some old guy his friend. Daman laughs and tells him, keep an eye on him. Later that evening, we see Neon Mask and Seokyun sharing a meal. Before leaving, Neon Mask buys some more food for Seokyun, saying, take this home and share it with your mom. You're going home after this, right? Seokyun hesitates and replies, no, Daman asked me to bring him some bikes. He buys me food and says he's my friend. Hearing this, Neon Mask asks, do you really think he's your friend? Seokyun answers, yes, he buys me tasty food and beats up those bullies who pick on me. He's a good person. Neon Mask's expression changes, and he says seriously, believe me, neither Daman nor I are good people. For your mom's sake, trust what I'm saying. I'm sorry, but Daman is using you to steal bikes for him. Seokyun replies, I know, but my mom always said people can change. Maybe Daman will become a good person someday. By the way, what happened to your hand? How did you get hurt? Neon Mask looks at his injured hand and says, I got this while doing something wrong. The scene shifts to Daman's friend, who is waiting for the bikes. Meanwhile, Seokyun introduces Neon Mask to his mom, saying, this is my friend. His mom invites Neon Mask inside and offers him some food, saying, you're the friend Seokyun told me about. I'm sorry, we don't have much to offer, but thank you for looking after my son. As Neon Mask is about to respond, Seokyun's mom interrupts and says, since middle school, Seokyun started coming home late. I thought he was hanging out with friends, but one day the police showed up at our house. They told me my son was stealing bikes with a group and had even become the leader of their gang. Thankfully, the bike owner forgave him, but I feel like he's starting to hang out with those people again. Can you help him stay away from them? Hearing this, Neon Mask can't refuse and agrees. As he leaves the house, Daman and his friend are watching him from a distance. Back inside, Seokyun's mom asks, where did you meet your new friend? Seokyun replies, I was sitting in the alley when I met him there. Meanwhile, Neon Mask climbs from one building to another to avoid Daman. When Daman arrives at the spot, he finds no one and angrily mutters, he slipped away again. I could have crushed him today. He's messing with my money bank. I'm losing money because of him. Back at home, Seokyun tells his mom, I don't know my new friend's name, but he told me what's right and wrong. He even bought me food. His hand is injured, and it must hurt. He might even cry because of the pain. Elsewhere, Neon Mask quietly slips away from the area. We see Neon Mask and Sejin racing, and Neon Mask wins. Sejin, handing him a bottle of water, asks, "Are you still thinking about that kid, Seo-kyun?" Neon Mask replies, "Daman has manipulated that boy countless times into stealing, and Seo-kyun blindly follows his every command. It feels like he has absolute faith in him. Initially, I thought talking to Seo-kyun would help me guide him onto the right path, but it didn't work. He doesn't know how to judge people's true nature. I still can't believe he trusts Daman just because Daman saved him from bullies so many times." Sejin then asks, "Do you feel guilty when you look at him?" Neon Mask responds sharply, "No, what worries me is whether you'll be able to stop me in the future." Hearing this, Sejin gets angry and retorts, "First Siha, and now you. Don't underestimate me. Relax, because I'll catch up to you in just a few days." He pauses and then adds, "So, how are you planning to deal with Daman? He won't give up without a fight. Was the reason we didn't finish him that day because Hayek was there? Even though we humiliated him in front of his crew, he's still trying to rebuild Napagu. Even if we break his arms and legs, he'll keep fighting. He'll never give up." Hearing this, Neon Mask becomes furious because, deep down, he knows it's true. The scene shifts to Daman's hideout. Daman's friend scolds his men, telling them to do their jobs properly because their failure caused Seo-kyun's friend to escape their sight. Hearing this, the gang members become enraged. They beat him up, yelling, "You're a loser yourself, and you're giving us orders?" Then, turning their attention to Daman, they start insulting him, too, calling him useless. This doesn't sit well with Daman, who starts fighting them. As he defeats them one by one, he declares with intensity, "If anyone says even one word against us, they'll end up like this." The scene cuts to a detective speaking with Neon Mask. The detective asks, "You said Seo-kyun is hardworking. Then working a part-time job shouldn't be difficult for him, right?" Neon Mask replies, "He's hardworking, which is why he's doing work for Napagu. He started working because of his mom, but her illness is very serious." The detective says, "It's not that bad. My wife says if she takes her medicine on time, she'll recover soon. As long as she takes care of herself, there won't be any major problems." Hearing this, Neon Mask asks about the treatment and medical expenses. The detective explains, "The medical fees aren't too expensive, and they have medical insurance. The problem is how she prioritizes spending her money. She's worried about her son and is saving for his future. If she focuses on herself, she'll recover quickly, but she's a mother, so her child always comes first." The scene shifts to Seo-kyun and his mom. She's helping him put on new clothes and realizes how much her son has grown. Suddenly, she starts feeling unwell. Seo-kyun asks with concern, "Did you take your medicine? Are you running out of it?" She reassures him, "I still have some medicine left. It's just a mild cough. By the way, did your friend Chamish arrange an interview for you somewhere?" Seo-kyun nods and says, "Yes, if I pass, I'll get the job." His mom replies warmly, "That's good, but you should focus on your studies for now." Hearing this, Seo-kyun hugs her tightly and says, "No, Mom, you're sick right now. How can I focus on studying?" Later, Seo-kyun gets ready and heads out for the interview. Daman stops him on the way and asks sarcastically, "Are you going on a blind date?" Seo-kyun and Daman face off in a tense moment. Seo-kyun says firmly, "No, my friend found a job for me. I'm going for an interview." Hearing this, Daman's friend laughs mockingly and says, "Who would give a loser like you a job?" Daman then adds, "If you need money, just work with us. You'll keep getting paid." Seo-kyun responds resolutely, "No, I want to earn money on my own, and I'm going for an interview right now. You should come with me." Daman, "The job pays well, and we only need to work during holidays. We shouldn't be stealing bikes anymore. The people whose bikes we steal need them too." Hearing this, Daman becomes enraged and starts hitting Seo-kyun. "Is this why I saved you from bullies? How dare you try to lecture me?" At that moment, Seo-kyun's mother arrives and slaps Daman, demanding, "How dare you hit my son? Do you feel proud forcing my son to steal?" Furious, Daman shoves her to the ground. Seeing this, Seo-kyun's anger boils over. "From now on, I won't steal bikes for you anymore." Daman laughs mockingly, "Have you lost your mind?" Grabbing Seo-kyun by the collar, he raises his hand to hit him again. Seo-kyun, panicked, turns to his unconscious mother, calling out, "Mom! Mom!" Meanwhile, The scene shifts to Neon Mask. As he eats, Joy asks him, "Will your hand bandages come off in 2 weeks? After that, are you starting special training? And what about Hayek? Have you decided when you're going to fight him?" Neon Mask replies calmly, "No, I don't decide when the fight will happen anyway." Joy then asks, "What about your live streams?" He answers, "The studio is under control for now." Joy insists, "You're a big live streamer, you can't just stop. Even if you take a break, you have to stream at some point. Do you remember what happened to Yunho? Do you want to give Katrinka a heart attack?" Just then, Neon Mask receives a call from the detective, who tells him, "Seokyun didn't show up for his part-time job. When I checked on him, I found his mother unconscious. I've taken her to a nearby hospital. It seems like something happened to her." Hearing this, Neon Mask becomes furious and storms out. Joy tries to stop him, asking, "Where are you going?" But he doesn't respond. The scene shifts to Sejin, who is exercising. He gets a call from Joy, who informs him, Neon Mask left the house angry. "I'll give you the location of Napagu's hideout. Search everywhere. The other members are also working on this." Hearing this, Sejin immediately heads out. At the same time, Daman takes Seokyun to an isolated place. Daman taunts him, "Nobody's coming to save you here. Scream all you want. What were you saying earlier? Say it again. Did you forget what your school life was like? You were forced to drink spoiled milk, and it gave you diarrhea at school. I was the only one who respected you back then. Did you forget that? And this is how you repay me? Do you even know your place?" Seokyun replies defiantly, "You hit my mom first." Daman counters, "Your mom hit me first." Just then, Seonjil arrives and mocks, "Look at him getting all emotional talking about his mommy." Seokyun says firmly, "I'll never be friends with you again." Daman punches him, shouting, "Why would I want to be friends with a loser like you? Do you want me to beat you up even more? No one is coming to save you here." Seokyun tries to escape, running and hiding in a cupboard, locking the door behind him. Daman starts hitting the cupboard, shouting at Seokyun to come out. As he does, he notices the cigarette he had left earlier has started a fire that is now spreading everywhere. Seonjil, panicking, says, "Let's get out of here." But Daman yells back, "Get Seokyun out first." Seonjil scoffs, "If you care so much about him, do it yourself." With that, he runs away, leaving Daman to frantically try opening the cupboard. Daman pleads, "Seokyun, come out. There's a fire everywhere. You'll die if you stay inside." But Seokyun doesn't respond. Frozen with fear, the fire grows worse, forcing Daman to retreat. On the staircase, he sees Neon Mask, who is furious, his mask off. Neon Mask demands, "Where is Seokyun? If you don't want to die, tell me now." Meanwhile, Seokyun sits trembling inside the cupboard, consumed by terror. Elsewhere, Siha searches Napagu's hideout for Neon Mask but finds nothing. The other team members scatter across different hideouts, but no one finds him. Sejin, running, thinks they must have taken him to the hideout near Seokyun's house. Trusting his instincts, he changes direction and heads there. Back at the burning building, Daman and Neon Mask engage in a brutal fight, exchanging heavy blows. Neon Mask, enraged, beats Daman mercilessly while demanding, "Where is Seokyun?" Daman suddenly realizes, this guy is Neon Mask. His voice matches. Neon Mask, still fuming, warns, "If anything happens to Seokyun, I'll hunt you down and kill you." Daman, furious, yells back, "So you're Neon Mask?" Neon Mask pushes past him, heading upstairs to search for Seokyun. Opening cupboard after cupboard, he finally finds Seokyun. Weak and terrified, he picks him up and tries to escape but sees Daman has locked the exit. Daman laughs menacingly, "You and your loser friend can die here together. There's no place in this world for losers like you." Neon Mask feels trapped. He places Seokyun in a corner, covering his face with his sweatshirt to shield him from the smoke. He then starts ramming the locked gate, trying to break it, but it doesn't budge. Daman taunts from outside, "It's useless. You won't get out. I'm leaving now." Hearing this, Neon Mask remembers the day he avenged his sister's killer and vowed revenge on TrollFam. That day, he became Neon Mask. Neon Mask growls, "Daman, do you want to know why I never put a bounty on your head? Because you're not worth it." Daman, confused, snaps, "What do you mean I'm not worth it?" Neon Mask explains coldly, TrollFam's top-ranking members Daniel, Hayek, Hayek-jun, And Seo, they have everything a person could want. Yet, they brought a loser like you into their gang. Do you know why? Because to them, you're nothing but a joke. You think you're strong? You think you've made it? You're just a clown for their entertainment. Damon's face contorts in anger. Shut up, I don't care. I don't have time for your nonsense. Do you think you can beat me? Neon Mask challenges. If you think you're strong, open the door and face me. Damon laughs mockingly. Nice try, but why would I open it? You'll just die in there. Just then, Sejin arrives, delivering a powerful punch that sends Damon flying. Sejin, furious, shouts, I knew you'd pull something like this. Neon Mask, kidnapping people and trying to kill them now? Neon Mask freezes for a moment, recognizing Sejin's voice. Meanwhile, Sejin yells, I know someone's inside, I'll get you out of there soon. At that moment, Damon seems to realize something. Meanwhile, Sejin demands the key from him. Damon laughs mockingly, are you siding with Neon Mask now? Hearing this, Sejin angrily replies, hand over the key right now. Damon smirks, holding the key up, and taunts, oh, you want this? But why should I give it to you? Stepping closer, Sejin says firmly, didn't I already tell you that I'm stronger than you? The tension explodes as the two begin to fight. Their clash intensifies, and soon the flames in the room grow larger, spreading uncontrollably. Amidst the chaos, the gate collapses, and Neon Mask emerges, filled with an intense, unprecedented rage. Neon Mask strides forward and sees Damon, pinned down with his throat in Neon Mask's grip. In the corner, Seokyun lies unconscious. Sejin rushes to pick up Seokyun, but he stops, alarmed, as he turns to see Neon Mask choking Damon. Neon Mask, consumed by anger, seems ready to finish him off. Sejin intervenes, trying to stop him. Neon Mask, stop, you'll kill him. But Neon Mask doesn't relent, growling, if I let him live, he'll recover and come after us again. People like him don't care about anyone's life. He's just like the one who killed my sister. People like them don't value life, whether it's theirs or someone else's. Seokyun, sitting at a distance, watches the scene unfold with a mix of fear and helplessness. Suddenly, Neon Mask collapses. Unconscious, Sejin quickly takes charge, ensuring Neon Mask is rushed to the hospital. Later, all the members gather outside the hospital, discussing the situation. The detective informs everyone, I've taken care of the hospital mess. My wife is checking on Seokyun and his mother. As for Damon, we've transferred him to another hospital. Turning to Joy, the detective adds, Joy, don't be too angry at Neon Mask. He knows he's messed up a lot. Joy, still upset, replies, even if he realizes it, what's the point? It doesn't change what's already happened. She storms off, and the detective follows her. The other members also leave one by one, advising Sejin to rest. Sejin agrees but stays behind, and soon Joy returns. You're still here? She asks. Sejin, surprised, responds, I thought you went home. She sighs, I didn't even get a chance to thank you. We thought we were prepared for situations like this, but it was all an illusion. What if you hadn't found him in time? The scene shifts to Neon Mask's hospital room. He wakes up, sitting on the bed, watching old videos and reliving past memories. He comes across one of his live streams where he had said, fire can only be fought with fire. Lost in thought, he reflects on those words as the screen flickers with the chaos of his past actions. At the hospital, we see Sejin and Taeyang talking. Suddenly, Neon Mask appears and asks, what are you two discussing? Sejin, surprised, asks, are you okay now? Neon Mask retorts sarcastically, you're hungry, but instead, you're keeping an eye on me? Sejin responds quickly, it's not like that. By the way, why are you dressed like this? Are you going somewhere? Instead of answering, Neon Mask simply smiles and walks away. The scene shifts to Joy, who is discussing a plan with Siha. Joy says, why don't you install a GPS tracker in Neon Mask's helmet? She pauses, then wonders aloud, but what if he takes off the helmet? How will we track him then? Siha suggests, why not put the tracker in his bodysuit instead? Joy snaps back, do you think he's a stray dog? Turning to Katrina, Joy says, if Neon Mask disappears again, use a tracker to find him next time. Katrina, irritated, replies, are you insane? Using a tracker requires satellite rental fees. Joy argues, don't you have a satellite? We can use that. I saw in a movie that satellites can help us track people. Katrina, now angry, retorts, what do you think we are? You're taking stalking to a whole new level. Besides, Neon Mask is the boss of his own channel, not me. You should follow his orders, that's your job. Joy responds bitterly. It's easy to say but not so easy to do. At that moment, Neon Mask enters with Sejin. Seeing him, Siha asks, why are you discharged from the hospital so soon? Neon Mask, now serious, replies, we don't have time to waste. Napagu isn't completely defeated yet. The scene shifts to Daman, who is walking in deep in thought. He says to himself, I know Neon Mask's face, but I have no idea where he lives. It seems like Siakun might know. Suddenly, Daman realizes he is surrounded by a group of strangers, confused and alarmed. He wonders, who are these people? Meanwhile, we see Siakun helping his mother as she's discharged from the hospital. Concerned, he asks, are you feeling better now? She replies, yes, I'm perfectly fine now, and that kind man even paid the hospital bill. This kind man is revealed to be the detective, who hands her a card and says, if you ever need anything, don't hesitate to contact me. I understand your worries about your son, but you also need to take care of yourself. Siakun's mother thanks him but says, I don't have money to repay you. The detective reassures her, my boss already paid me to help you, so there's no need to worry about that. Curious, Siakun's mother asks, who is your boss? I want to meet them. The detective smiles and replies, your son has already met our boss several times. In fact, our boss says Siakun is a very good kid. Elsewhere, Neon Mask receives a call from the detective, who informs him everything has been handled properly. Neon Mask thanks him and asks for one more favor. The scene now shifts to Joy, who returns home and sits down, her gaze falling on the calendar. She suddenly remembers she was supposed to meet her father today. Before she can leave, her phone rings, answering the call. She says, are you live streaming? But there's no live stream scheduled for today, I checked myself. Hearing something on the other end, her expression changes to shock. The final scene transitions to Neon Mask, who is surrounded by his drones. Live streaming, smiling into the camera, he says, hello, everyone, today, I'm back with new content. We'll be live streaming until we can't anymore. When Neon Mask's team members learn about the unexpected live stream, they begin watching it as well. Neon Mask announces with a sinister tone, today's target is Daman. A drone is already monitoring Daman from above. Sejin's sister watches the livestream and finds it strange, muttering to herself, Neon Mask never does something like this. Meanwhile, Daman is surrounded by a group of thugs. He asks angrily, who are you all? One of them smirks and replies, we don't know how Neon Mask got our details, but he made us an offer. You're quite popular these days. For every hit we land on you, we'll get 10k. Now, we're just deciding who gets to hit you and how many times someone's aiming for 300, and someone else for 290. Hearing this, Daman's anger boils. Watching this unfold, Neon Mask comments with a sly grin, I knew no normal method would work to take down someone like Daman. So, what are you going to do now, Daman? If this is about being the worst person here, then I claim the #1 spot. Daman thinks to himself, if I stay here, they'll corner me from all sides. I need to get out of here immediately. Calming himself, Daman says aloud, so, all of you want a piece of me? His calm demeanor unsettles the group. One of them mutters, now I understand why Neon Mask chose him. He's fearless. Daman smirks and says, first, I need to deal with something over there. When the group turns to look in the direction he pointed, Daman seizes the moment to slip away through a narrow alley. Realizing they've been fooled, the thugs start chasing him. Watching this, Neon Mask is visibly amused. Meanwhile, Joy, visibly tense, rushes to meet her teammates. As she enters the room, Sejin arrives and asks angrily, is it true that Neon Mask started a livestream without informing anyone? Siha replies, yes, this is the first time he's done something like this. He didn't even notify us. Taeyang, frustrated, says, if this keeps happening, we might have to shut down the recycling team entirely. Jiho interjects, Siha, are the drones Neon Mask is using being controlled by your team? Can you trace their IP address? Siha shakes his head and says, I'm not sure. It looks like he's controlling the drones himself. Jiho then turns to Sejin and asks, do you know where he's live streaming from? But Sejin is no longer there. He had already left. Daman runs to his hideout, thinking, Now they can't touch me since I've reached my base. Suddenly, he knocks over some plastic bags and keeps running. His friends see him rushing by and greet him. Hey, Daman! But without stopping, Daman bolts past them. Moments later, they notice a horde of thugs chasing him. One friend exclaims, "What's going on? Why are they chasing Daman?" A thug overhears and replies, "These guys are part of Daman's gang." Another thug responds angrily, "So what? We're being paid to beat Daman, not his lackeys." Watching all this chaos, Neon Mask laughs with delight, but his amusement is cut short when Sejin arrives on the scene. Sejin shouts angrily, "Stop this madness right now." Neon Mask, still grinning, replies, "I knew you'd come here, but I'm curious, how did you manage to find me both this time and last time? You seem to know this area very well, but do you know I was born here? Look at Daman, he's up to his old tricks again. I've been working from home for a long time, but what are you doing here? Do you not like my way of working?" Sejin, furious, shouts back, "Do you really need to ask that now?" Neon Mask smirks and says, "Haven't you heard the saying? You fight fire with fire. My coach taught me that. Or were you thinking we're all good people here?" Sejin explodes with rage, yelling, "There's a limit to everything, but you've crossed every line imaginable." Neon Mask, unbothered, replies, "One of my strategies is this: if you can't defeat someone alone, you team up to take them down. If Daman doesn't stop now, I'll have to take things to the next level. Don't forget what Daman has done to ordinary people. You were the one who said you would defeat Daman," Neon Mask said. Sejin, gritting his teeth, responded, "I know how this will end." Hearing this, Neon Mask, standing at the edge of the terrace, smirked and said, "If that's the case, then push me off from here." Enraged, Sejin shouted, "Get down immediately and take off that mask." Neon Mask shook his head and replied calmly, "No." Sejin's fury grew, and he snapped, "I didn't come here to joke around." Neon Mask retorted, "And do you think I'm here to play games with you? This is the only reason I'm still alive." Meanwhile, Daman was running relentlessly when he spotted a delivery man's bike. He quickly mounted it and sped away. The thugs chasing him paused, looking at their map in confusion. "This area wasn't marked on the map Neon Mask gave us," one thug said. "Follow me," another ordered. Soon, a thug blocked Daman's path by standing in front of the bike. Daman, undeterred, accelerated as if to hit him, but the thug quickly jumped aside. Another thug hurled a bottle at Daman, causing him to lose balance and fall. Despite the hit, Daman stood up and kept walking, much to everyone's shock. Daman eventually hid in a secluded spot, while the thugs continued searching for him further ahead. Watching the chaos unfold through his livestream, Neon Mask grinned and said, "Catching him won't be that easy." Back on the terrace, Sejin's anger reached its peak as he grabbed Neon Mask and slammed him to the ground. "I knew talking wouldn't work with you, now I'll have to rely on force," Sejin growled. Neon Mask laughed weakly, replying, "How can you be so cold? You're supposed to be my friend, aren't you?" Meanwhile, the thugs finally caught up to Daman and began beating him mercilessly. Daman, enraged, yelled, "Don't you all know who I am?" But the thugs didn't care, they were too busy counting how many punches they had landed. Watching this through the stream, Neon Mask chuckled and said, "Today's the day you defeat me, isn't it, Sejin? Just like you promised?" Sejin, clenching his fists, replied, "Yes, you're absolutely right. This will be our third fight, and I'm going to win this one." Neon Mask's expression darkened as he said, "You're wrong, Sejin. This isn't our third fight, it's our first, because until today, you've never faced the real me." Sejin froze, his thoughts racing. Every time I fought him, he wasn't wearing that mask. Could this mask really transform someone into a different person? He seems like a completely new entity. Am I really about to fight his true self for the first time? He reflected on his past encounters with Neon Mask. When I first met him, he seemed like such a good person. I had never met anyone as confident as him, but when I learned he was Neon Mask, I started to fear him. I couldn't understand which version of him was real, and then I found out. It all began after his sister's accident. Sejin thought, "I convinced myself that I could stop him someday, but to defeat him now, I need to destroy that mask. For that, I'll need to use a move strong enough to injure him." Seeing Sejin lost in thought, Neon Mask interrupted, "Don't overthink it. You need to find your own fighting style." He attacked Sejin, landing a solid punch. The impact left Sejin momentarily stunned. How is he this strong? Sejin thought. dodging Neon Mask's relentless punches. Suddenly, Neon Mask leaped off the terrace and delivered a powerful kick to Sejin. "You've trained hard, I can see that," Neon Mask said mockingly. Sejin stood his ground and replied, "Of course I have. Beating you won't be easy." In his mind, Sejin couldn't shake the image of the terrifying expression Neon Mask hid beneath the mask. While fighting, he thought, "I don't know if I can erase the darkness within him, but I have to try." Sejin's thoughts drifted to Neon Mask's sister, Yebin. "When I learned about her, I often dreamed of a different outcome. If I had saved Yebin that day, Neon Mask wouldn't be like this. He and his sister would have lived happily, and we would have been friends, spending time together." Back in the present, Neon Mask smiled faintly and said, "Sejin, you truly are a good person. Take care of yourself." With those words, he began to walk away. As the scene shifted, we saw Sejin lying unconscious on the ground. That's it for this episode. If you want to see what happens next, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It truly means a lot. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.